All right, Perplexity Computer versus Claude Code, and we are in for a treat because today, April 16th, 2026, it looks like Claude has just released Claude Opus 4.7, and that's Opus is the version of Claude that you're going to want to use if you're coding or doing advanced complex topics. And that is the most capable all-around tool in Claude. And I just logged in. I use Claude every day, and this is the first time I've seen Opus 4.7. So they just released this, and we're going to go, and I'm going to actually show you some really cool things. We're going to be testing two things, so you want to stick with me. I'm going to show you if Claude Code can automate tasks and set up a schedule like a cron job and to where you can have it running in the background. I'm going to show you how Perplexity for sure does that. And it's important to know the difference, right, in the distinction when you're trying to answer this question, Perplexity and Claude Code. Well, Perplexity doesn't have its own like LLM. It doesn't have its own language or model to write code and everything. It's actually borrowing from, ChatGPT. It's borrowing from Claude. It's borrowing from Gemini. It's borrowing from Gronk and so forth, right? So it's kind of like a connector, if you will, that offers more capability to all those platforms and puts them all together. It's kind of like a great grand orchestrator, if you will, right? More coordinator, if you will, of large language models. So it's actually Perplexity is going to use Claude or use Claude Code in order to get tasks done, but it doesn't actually have its own large language model. So very important. Now, I do think it's important to see, like, we will try to build a modern site using Perplexity. We'll try to build one with Claude Code. But before we do that, I'm going to show you an automated task that I set up that is helping with YouTube for myself. And Perplexity is able to use Perplexity Computer, which is brand new as well, right, to automate tasks for us. So when I show up in the office each day, I know what to create for YouTube because it is already running and scheduled in the background. So that's actually really cool. And we're going to see if Claude Code can do that. And then we'll build a website together. So let's jump in. So this is Perplexity, and I'll show you. This has been running for the last week, right? So I used this over here, this prompt over here, and you can kind of pause the video and read that. But essentially I'm saying, hey, go out, fetch what's trending in software and tell me which one, and then also compare it to my channel, one of my other channels, and then tell me give me the top 3, find 20 topics, and then find the top 3 that I haven't created content on already, and then suggest which ones I should go for. So it's really great for creating content. Now, I will say, just a side note, I had this running every single day. I'm on Claude. I'm on a paid plan. I'm on Pro, right? So that's $20 a month. I already have straight up burnt through my credits. So just so you know, being on the Pro plan and having an automated task like this that's pretty research heavy and it's going out and doing a bunch of things. I also kind of use Perplexity. As you guys know, I've been making more videos and so forth. I've already burned through all my credits. And so if you're going to be using Perplexity, like I'm using it right now, you're going to have to be on that $200 a month plan. So I will say this though, to be fair, being on that $200 a month plan will give you access to all the video creation apps like Sora and just all the video creation, image creation, all the large language models. And so you'll basically get everything all in one roof, and that's the advantage of Perplexity. And it's around, I believe it's like $200 a month, but you can go to Claude and pay $200 a month on their max plan as well. They start at $100, but if you're probably using them both about the same, you're going to end up around the same, needing the same subscription, if that makes sense. Okay. And I have friends that are on the Claude $200 per month plan because they just use it so much in their business that they can't imagine not, utilizing the tool that much. So as I use all these tools. I use ChatGPT, I use Claude, I use Perplexity, I use Gemini to create thumbnails and everything, right? So I kind of live inside of all these tools, but I'm really have a heavy focus on Perplexity right now because I really want to really test the heck out of it and then see if is this the ultimate tool because it's using all of the capabilities of all those other tools. It's putting them all together. And do you really need those other tools, right? And so this is the prompt right here, and it would run the task, right? and it would run all these tasks, and it would do these picks for me. And let's go in. And the first time it ran, it actually did this, which was great. It kind of put this out in a table format, which is great. Hasn't really looked like that since. And so it's been running in the background. Now you have a schedule over here, and then we can come down over here and you can update it. And now this morning I actually came in and I said, you know what, let's go ahead and update this to just run on Mondays at 6 a.m. So because I can't make all those videos anyway, right? So it's doing all this heavy lifting every single day, when really I can't make all those videos anyway. So if it really just came out and did the research, I could actually change this to just run once a week and then suggest 3 to 5 tools for me to focus on that week. And that's all I really need, right? So you can see it's ran all these times over here. Let's go and look at the last time it was ran so I can show you what the results of that is. I'll come back over here, and then here's what this looked like. Okay, so this is what the first few looked like, but it looks like it had to get escalated because it ran out of credits. So this only lasted for a few days, and then but it would go out there and it would find all these videos that we found all the videos that we have created, and then it would suggest our videos for us like this right here. So here's the videos that it would suggest for us right there, and then here's the 3 that it actually would suggest for us to go and make content on, right? Okay, so so you can see it ran several times, and then I think it got caught up because of the credit situation. We can go over here and click on usage, and it'll tell you how much credits we've used for that. But then you can go in here to your account and also see, and I have 0 credits available. I do have an overflow credit system. So then what I wanted to do was see, okay, can Claude Code do this, right? So we tested out Opus 4.7. I grabbed the exact prompt that I used over here, and I pasted that in here to Claude. And it was very fast. It did all this stuff here. It created this kind of tool, but it's very important to note that here's how it works, right? Now come over here. Now on the automated daily part, keep this in mind, the actual daily trigger has to happen on your end, right? Since Claude can't run itself on a cron. 2 practical options: save this chat and open it once each morning, hitting the button. Takes 60 seconds. True hands-off automation. This should live in an N8N or Make pulling YouTube trends or AppSumo's new launches page and a search API. So you would need to create this as a unique workflow. Now, that's what's so cool about Perplexity. I'm surprised that it didn't suggest that, is because in Perplexity, we can create basically agents inside of Perplexity that will run this automatically, which I just basically showed and proved to you that it will run automatically. It's running every single day right here. And so it goes out there and it's triggered, and you have these schedules, right? You can go to scheduled. This one's a scheduled topic right over there. If we go in here to computer, you'll see we have all these right here. These are things that we've done, and we can, this one's an automated task right there. Okay. But let's go and run this now and just see what it will look like. So I'm going to click this button, find today's topics. Error failed to fetch, try again. Okay, so that's a balanced mix. Now we can go with this, YouTube creator tools. That's kind of cool that it was able to create that, but it's not working. So I'm going to say the find new batch button is not working. Getting an error, please fix and update. So like that. And then we'll just kind of work through this. Okay, so it's trying to work through that right there, and it does seem like balanced mix, and it is ready when you are hit find today's topics, rewriting the search engine. So we need to wait for it to finish processing right here, and then we're going to try it again. But these are things to note that Perplexity Computer kind of works through itself, and it does, for whatever reason, it seems like it does a little bit more of a better job at like continuing to fix itself. When it notices something's wrong, it kind of knows where to go. Oh, I need to call on this, I need to call on that, and it tries to fix itself. The Claude Code is going to need a little bit more massaging to kind of get it to work. But we're going to go and take a look here. It's a whole different large language model, right? That's not Claude or Perplexity. And I gave it this instruction right over here for like an electric company in Denver, Colorado, and, just kind of filled it with dummy information. And then I said, create a master prompt for me. So we've got this master prompt right here, and I'm going to grab this master prompt here, And I'm just going to grab that whole thing right there. And I'm going to copy that. And we're going to go into Perplexity and use my overflow credits. We are in computer. I'm going to go and paste this in right here. And I'm just going to say go. So I'm not telling it what model to use. I'm not telling it anything like that. I'm just using Perplexity computer. And it's going to go out there and start building this website for us based on this giant prompt that it did come up with and create. Because I gave it this information and I said, create a master prompt that's going to create a website that looks like it's $1 million website. Okay. So let's go back over here while that's going. Yeah, let's see. Claude says that it fixed the issue and the web's research tool, blah, blah, blah. So let's go and now do a balanced mixed, find today's topics. That's not working. Okay, the button isn't working. Can you just do a balanced run now? And I'm just going to see if we can just tell it by talking to it. Got it. Let me just run it directly for you right now. So the button didn't work, but it's going to. Great. I've got the live data. Here's your balanced batch for today. So top 3 picks for today, saying that Ninja Pipe AppSumo review right here is a good one. Magic Fit is a good one. Now, that's good. I've already done a review on Magic Fit. Something that I updated later on in Perplexity was, hey, you need to make sure you look at the last 50 videos. And then if I've done a review on that product, skip it, right? So those are the 3 that it's telling me that I should go. But here's the 20 topics as well that it's going for as well. Now I'm not seeing, okay, so there's Poppy AI. That's not an AppSumo one. It is bringing in some other stuff that we should maybe do as well. That's not just AppSumo, which is great as well. So about the broken button, that's a known issue with API calls. Okay, so I think it's fair to say that in this first test, that Perplexity probably wins. It just wins. It can run cron jobs. It can kind of fix itself, work through issues itself, notify you when things are not working. And so I would probably say Perplexity computer for like automated tasks definitely wins, because it's going to use other large language models. And you can specify too and say, hey, I want you to use Claude, ChatGPT, or Gemini or whatever for whatever task you're using. So we could tell it to use Claude, but it will just be able to create cron jobs and do a better job with scheduling automated tasks. Perplexity computer wins for that. Now let's go over here and I'm going to start a new chat here. We will go with Opus 4.7. We will paste that prompt in, right? A giant prompt. And I'm just going to say execute this and I'm going to say go. So now this is going to go out and start building. Let's go check on what's going on in Perplexity right here. But you can see right here, I'll build this premium production ready website. It's going to go and start working. It's going to take some time, probably 5 or 10 minutes. So what I'll do in the meantime is we'll come back over here to Perplexity and see where it's at. It has been working and building, and you could click on any one of these tasks right over here, creating project directory, starting brand right over here. And it's going to, you can click on these arrows and it'll tell you it's building CSS, it's building the base, the main, the nav, the index.html file. It's doing all those things. Now, I don't know what language model it's actually using to do this portion right here. Now, I did look up on my other computer. I said, what is the LLM that Perplexity uses for most content tasks? Perplexity uses a multi-model agentic architecture rather than a single large language model for tasks. So I might stand corrected there. Employing Sonar powered by Llama 3.1 70B for most standard search, and it dynamically routes to models like GPT-4, Claude, Gemini. So Perplexity proprietary Sonar models, that means that, let's see right over here. Okay, yeah, so Perplexity has its own proprietary Sonar model. So they get to say that they have their own model, but it relies heavily on Llama, which is based on Meta. So Meta's Llama is where they're getting most of the content and and information from. So I stand corrected. It's really good to do this kind of research right over here. So it is for most of the tasks in Perplexity, it is not using like ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini or anything like that. It's actually using Meta's Llama, and then a combination of that, and then also Perplexity's proprietary coding and steps and everything, if you will, are built onto that. So it's building right here. We will come back in a minute. Okay, so here we are. It's probably been like 10, 15 minutes. You can see Perplexity is still working away at the website, but Claude is definitely faster. Using Claude inside the app, a Claude Code for coding and building a website is definitely going to win on speed, and probably, if I had to make an estimate, is probably going to win on quality as well. It's arguably the best for coding games. And so here's what it came up with. I didn't give it any colored instructions or anything like that. Mile High Home Electric, Denver, established 2001. We told it to get You've Built Your Life Around, and it's very specific to no commercial. It's for existing homes only, homeowners only. That's what they focus on. Request a free estimate right there. And you can see right over here, it filled out all this for us as well. Here's the site, everything your Denver home needs done the right way. Graphics right over here really comes out. And then you have your services, your company, top neighbors, so service areas, and then a really nice footer page with the legal pages as well, and all the appropriate things you would want in a local business, call for estimate, request online, all that kind of stuff. So it's looking really, really good. There's a contact information right there. You can get your free estimate right there, and your FAQ is here, all filled out. This is looking really good. Financing, how they take payment, reviews are right here. The site looks amazing. And then here's the service page right here, what they actually service, and about right over here. So you can go in there and you can switch out these images and all that, but this is looking really, really good. Let's go check on Perplexity. It's still kind of struggling away, building the pages and so forth. We'll get a few more minutes. All right, so it's done all this the QA and combining everything together, and now it's deploying the a Mile High Home Electric Premium website. So it's going to deploy it. We'll be right back. Okay, so website is deployed. What's included? Here's all the stuff right here. Full site architecture, 17 pages. And so this one actually created every single one of these as a page, which I think is different than what Claude ended up doing. So maybe even more thorough than we even thought. This is the page right here. We can download it as a zip. Can we go and take a look at what it will look like? Yep, we can go like that. And we can go, let's see here. I'm going to share this copy link, and then I'm going to go and see if this shows up as, there we go. So this is what the site looks like in Perplexity. Right here, it has kind of a dark and light and dark mode. I don't really know if that's really too necessary, but interesting to see. And then we would probably want to clean this top line up since it's already all right here. The service areas, this part's a little bit kind of cluttered a little bit. Services, you have all the service pages right there. I can't really hover down, but this is what it looks like overall. Those are actual no, that's not a page. Get a free estimate. Takes you over here. This is all fillable. I would say overall, even just this right here doesn't look the best, but each one of these is a page. So we can go to the financing page right over here. This looks pretty darn good. But just overall, I would say this would definitely be passable. And it's good in Perplexity, but as far as speed and I would say, I don't know, I'd say I'd give the edge a little bit more on coding a website and everything to Claude Code. So Perplexity wins for automated tasks, setting up cron job and things like that. And just overall on autopilot and automation, just saying, hey, do this. Perplexity is going to be able to pull from many different sources and capabilities to get the job done. If you're specifically looking for coding a website or something like that, I would say Claude Code will win this battle right over here. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.